It's about that time, guys! Coming live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the sportscasting crew for the Upper St. Clair Fantasy League. We tune in to ESPN MLB Live with your broadcaster, Marty Pollack, and a special guest. Oh, thank you. That was some intro we got going on with ESPN today. But I am, you guys that know, Marty Pollack, and today I have a treat for you guys. We got a special guest with plenty of knowledge. I think a lot of you guys should listen to what this guy's got to say. My brother-in-law, the Jason Newhouse. Fuck you guys. All right, babe.
Okay.
Take it away, Jay.
Well, we're going to break down, we're going to do a recap of last week, some bad beats, what the hell happened with some of these people, and who the hell's managing some of these teams, by the way. And then I guess there was some people that wanted to know about some hitters, possibly pitchers. We'll see what's going on in that category.
We'll cover the whole story today.
We're going to cover it all up, and then we're going to do some handicap and breakdown of the games or the matchups.
Jason's section, Beat the Bookie. It's one of my personal favorites, so we'll see what's going on.
So recap of last week. You're still in first place.
Yes.
Shit ass luck on one of those, you would have to admit.
I got
picked up Patrick Corbin towards the end of the week and picked up the win, but it was who couldn't do that? They were playing the San Diego Padres. I mean, 50 Cent could have won that game.
Oh my God,
pitching against the Padres.
So we got to give Todd the bad beat of the week. Absolutely, my man Chicken Corbin Blue came in big with the 21 points. Without the pickup, I would have lost by 1 point. So, hey guys, you gotta keep your eyes on the prize.
Another bad beat that we want to talk about.
This is a good
one. Wow. Ben Walker, how the hell did you blow that damn game? I mean, he had as many points on Tuesday.
The first 2 days.
On just Tuesday alone, had as many points as his opponent did in the first 2 days.
Yeah.
And right around...
What was that, his birthday?
Right around his birthday.
I think it was his birthday, the 13th.
He took a shit. He shit the bed. It's like he quit watching baseball altogether.
He must have been on
alcohol. And then realized that he was losing, must be at some point, and then started to make a comeback because...
a desperate trade at the end of the week.
It's no wonder why you're 0-2, though. I mean, a team plays as good as its manager, correct?
Yes, that's exactly it. I mean, Clint Hurdle turned around the Pirates and...
No managerial skills, just whiskey bottling the shit out of it all week and just like let's try and make a comeback. It's almost like having Pete Rose for your manager and betting against your team or something. I don't know.
That'll bring me into my next segment here. So towards the end of the week, which seemed like a pretty fair trade at the time, I'm still hesitant. Benny and Todd made a trade. My 3 players to watch. One of them including Trevor Story. So I'm definitely excited to see what's going to pan out with this new guy. He's been crushing the ball, playing great, but will it hold up? That's the question.
Honestly, in my opinion here, I think that was a great trade on Todd's end. Ben
got Trevor.
He did. First sight glance, but Todd made the, who's Trevor Story? Have you ever heard of him before the season?
I didn't know who he was.
Okay, well, there you go. He traded him away while the getting was still good. And if he stays that way, then fine. Connor made a hell of a deal. But look at the 2 players in that deal that Todd ended up picking up, one of which I'll end up talking about later, Chris Archer, who has yet to find...
Had some bad luck.
Well, he has yet to retrieve his head from his ass is what's going on.
He's got to figure out...
But Jose
Batista going too.
Puts up consistent numbers all year round. So if Story doesn't, even if you take into consideration who Walker ended up getting out of that deal, if Story doesn't hold up for the end of the season, Batista's going to have the numbers.
Story, who'd he get? Story, Kang, and Ventura, which Kansas City pitchers just,
Well, Ventura is probably he's probably the second if not the best pitcher on that staff. Consistency has been his problem. He can't stay consistent. He's erratic in the strike zone.
I think we'll give the edge to Todd on that trade.
I would have to give the edge to, obviously you're going to have to look towards the end of the season on what goes what, but I mean, Batista's going to put up the numbers.
From far sight, we think Todd, but we don't know. That'll lead me into my other two batters to watch this week. Two players that haven't got off to the best start. Mike Trout and Todd Frazier. I believe they are, some of the best hitters in the league. They're just averaging 1 to 2 points a game, and they're really hurting their teams. Mason could definitely use more than 1.5 points a game from Trout. So let me know if trying to trade for him. All right, and
I'm going to go into the hitters for this week to watch that I think are going to tear it up. If you look at the home set for the Cincinnati Reds. Holy hell. Anybody who is struggling hitting the ball, fired up. Just wish it was a joint. If you look at Cincinnati's schedule for this week, they've got Colorado coming into town to start off the week.
True.
Holy cow. And who can't hit in that park? Synergy Field. That is a home run ballpark. Hitter's paradise right there. And so I've got Nolan Arenado, who I think is probably...
Fuck you, Frazier.
He's definitely in the top 3 for best players in baseball right now. Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story should have monster games in Synergy Field. And then the Cubs this week are starting their series off against... But they're starting their series off against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals' pitching staff this season has not quite been what it was last season. Wainwright hasn't got his shit together, but now you take a look at later on in the week, the Cubs come to Cincinnati. Again, weekend stand. So you're going to have Addison Russell and anyone who has Anthony Rizzo. You could possibly throw Chris Bryant into there because he's a home run hitter. But I look for Addison Russell and Anthony Rizzo to have really huge games throughout the whole entire week. So whoever has those guys, wow. Have fun. You should have some huge numbers at the end of this week.
Do you want to go into pitchers or the handicaps next?
Let's go into pitchers since, we finished up. Now, you could do the pitchers that you like for this week because I have pitchers that I don't like that I think need to pull their heads out of their asses here.
So this week, big game between me and Mike Rad, and I think it's going to come down to Chris Sale. If Chris Sale can have another 35-plus, 40-point outing, then it's Mike Rad's for the taking. But it's really going to come down to Sale versus Arrieta. Who's gonna be the better pitcher out of that matchup?
That's going to be really tight, I think. I regardless of what teams they're playing through the week, I think those two pitchers are such strong caliber pitchers.
They could carry your team.
They could. They could win a 1-0 game for you. And almost go the distance, if not go the distance. So
and who is my last pitcher I got was it Noah Syndergaard, and I forget whose team he's on. I think it's Rob's team, but he's going against the second worst and the worst batting average teams in the MLB with the Phillies and the Twins. Or
is Syndergaard throwing tonight?
He's pitching twice this week. So
I think he is throwing tonight against the Phillies.
He could get,
that's going to be a monster game for Syndergaard.
Syndergaard could get 60 points alone.
He's going to tear it up. He's going to tear it up.
So that could lead Rob to victory.
I don't think you really look too much further than him. Pitchers that are on my list: Wainwright, Chris Archer, Matt Harvey, Zach Greinke, and Garrett Cole. Now I know Cole's coming back from it was an injury, correct?
Cole, I don't know what he's doing yet.
He had an injury. I don't think any of those pitchers know what they're doing yet. They all need to pull their heads from their asses and figure out what direction they're headed in for this year, because those are all statistically really good pitchers from last season that had great numbers, with the exception of Wainwright because he only pitched in like 8 games last year. But you're expecting these pitchers to do something, and now it's to the point right now where they have such terrible numbers. It's do you trade them when they start to get better, or do you hold on to them?
But their stock's their stock's low now.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. When they start to get better, do you actually hang on to them?
Yourself in the ass. Yeah. Like, it's a decision time, basically.
Well, and for me personally, I think it's going to depend upon what direction the team is headed in. Because if it looks like they're a team later on down the road that may not make the playoffs, but the pitcher's good, I might want to trade him for maybe somebody that's a little bit halfway decent, that's on a winning team, that has the chance to actually do something a little bit better. I don't know. It's going to be a tough call either way. If you have any of those pitchers on your team, I think you're really going to have to question what it is that you think that you're looking for on your team that would complete your team, that you could get rid of that pitcher for, or if that pitcher does do it for you.
It seems like most of the teams that have been winning thus far have players on teams who have been winning. So it's it makes sense.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Hand in
hand. Yep, so that leads us to our handicaps and our Beat the Bookie section of the week.
My favorite portion.
Yeah, me too. Who doesn't love
winning money?
Yeah, and beating the bookie, man. That asshole Todd, man. We're coming for you, buddy. Better pay up, though. You owe me $20 still. All right, so our first matchup of the week, let me see. We'll start with
I think it was you and Mike.
Me and Mike Red. So I think it's very high, minus 75 on two even teams.
Minus 75. My thing here on this is Mike's got a few pitchers that need to bounce back this week. Zach Greinke, Garrett Cole, Houston Street. Those pitchers need to start putting up a little better numbers and start having some bounce back. I don't know how much they play this week, but honestly, I think 75 points is a lot to ask for. Particularly even if he had a team that wasn't statistically too good, but had a few players that could punch a couple home runs out here and there. I think I like Mike plus the 75 this week.
I like the Latos pickup by Rad too. I dropped him last week because I needed to get that Corbin Blue, and the White Sox, the way they're playing right now, and their pitching staff is looking great. Kershaw could have a 40-point game. Kershaw and Sale combined is scary, man.
That's a scary 1-2 punch right there.
So I think with the spread being so high, you might as well.
I've got to take 75.
You got to take what, $10 to win 17, whatever. Maybe throw a Benjamin on it. Like, the odds are in your favor.
That's not one I'm throwing a Benjamin on.
No, I mean, my team's been.
That's one that I'm playing. Yeah,
you gotta play it. Play that one low.
Play it soft.
Play soft, but you could potentially win some money.
All right, let's move on to the
next
matchup here.
Who we got? Todd runs away with this one.
Todd absolutely runs away with this one. I have this one right here as my lock pick of the week. Also, I have it as my largest margin of victory. This is an absolute blowout, in my opinion. Ben, pretty average lineup top to bottom. You have a few diamonds in the rough there with Andrew McCutchen, Nelson Cruz, Trevor Stewart. Good pitching staff. However, that's just not going to stack up against Todd's team. That team is just absolutely stacked.
Some pickups he made in free agency with Voit and Hayward.
And the trade that he had with
Ben too.
If Chris Archer comes around and Batista has a huge week, you're definitely going to need Story to pull out some incredible moonshots there. I just think that with the team Todd's got, you're looking at, it's going to be hard to keep him out of the championship by the end of the season. You're going to have to hope Todd has a few players that go down with some key injuries.
That West or East division between me and Todd, I don't know. We could see Mike Rad make a push, but I think it's going to come down to me and Todd. Leads us to our next handicap. Who we got? Mason versus Nate, and we gotta figure out what Nate is doing right now, if he's still alive, or you could just totally rape the bookie on this one if Nate doesn't make any changes.
Well,
Nate does have a good team though.
Nate has a pretty good team. A lot of home run power in the lineup here. A few pitchers that need to pull their shit together.
What was this? Plus what?
Start seeing things clearly. It's Mason minus 35. I like the D. Gordon Yelich combo, but in that lineup there just seems to be, and I think it's Nate's lineup, there just seems to be way too much power in that lineup, and that's usually not a great balance because you don't with too much power in the lineup, you're either hitting a lot of home runs and you're killing it for the
Hit or
week,
miss.
or you're just striking out a lot. You don't see too many, singles, doubles. He's got Miguel Cabrera, but that's like the only guy on the team that I could see that is a consistent.
So you're thinking
base hitter. I'm thinking Mason.
Mason, not
Mason
as much.
minus 35.
Not as much you would put on as Todd, though. You think? Or pretty,
absolutely not.
No.
I would never put as much money on any of the rest of these games as much as I would put on Todd.
Todd's the lock
Todd
of the week.
is absolutely largest margin of victory. I say Todd wins by probably close to 100, if not better.
Todd literally should have beat me last week, honestly. That was just...
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see about the official rule change, what we're doing there. I say, the more you pay attention, the more benefits you should get, but I guess some people don't like that rule, so I don't know. What do you feel about that?
Well, if you own the team and you're making your picks throughout the whole entire week and you're paying attention, you shouldn't be penalized for doing what you're supposed to be doing in order to win.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll see, and leads us to our last matchup.
Last
of the
one,
week.
In my honest opinion, this is
the
hands
best
down.
one.
Yeah, this is the best one. This is going to be the closest matchup, I think. Connor has my favorite player on there, Nolan Arenado. He's the next coming of Jesus Christ. I mean, that guy is sick. He is unreal.
Yep.
I
do think Syndergaard could just win this game for Rob, though.
That's my thing.
Pitching twice.
Him pitching twice.
Two bad teams.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, the thing is it's going to come down to his pitching versus Connor's batting in this matchup this week. And being that I think it's going to be as close as it is, I've got to side with the points on this one. So I'm taking Rod plus the 25.
Rob plus 25.
Yep, Rob plus 25. Wouldn't be surprised if he won outright by a little bit. I also wouldn't be surprised if he lost by a little bit. Being that said, it's like 2-on-1 there, so I've got to take Rob.
This could
25.
honestly be a pick-em in my opinion. But yeah, with the plus 25, I think we'll both side with Rob on this one, and so basically that leads it up. Trade Watch, reply to the link. Who's on your trading block? I know Mason's trying to get rid of Mike Trout, but trying to trade a Mason's like trying to I don't even know what to say because he's just literally the worst. So, fuck you, Mason. You literally try to get Arrieta for a bench player. So be careful trading Mason. He does have some good players, but he values them way too high. Any final notes?
Well, I think it should be an interesting week. I'm going to be really curious to see how the Connor and Rob matchup plays out for the rest of the week because Connor has some really good bats in his lineup that I think have some really favorable matchups this week to where he could, counter the amount of points that Rob is probably going to pick up from Syndergaard throwing against some really horrible teams.
So absolutely game of the week, Rob versus Connor. Take the points with Rad.
Yeah,
that's
I think
too
I
high.
Take the points.
Benny versus Todd. Throw it down on Todd. There's no way he's
throw it
losing
down
that.
on Todd.
And
bold prediction, I say Todd wins by 130 points this week.
Yeah, so
it's not even close.
Yeah.
This should have been Ben's week that he should have decided to have his birthday party, run around in his birthday suit, take drugs.
Yeah. So you shouldn't have. You really blew it last. That could bite you in the ass.
Yeah, that is going to bite him in the ass.
Lay off
go back 0-2, and now you got to go against the
4-point
top
loss.
guy.
0-3 is hard. It's a hard hole to climb out of.
Ben, my God, what made you more sick this week? That bottle of Jack that you downed, or the 4 points you lost by because you downed the bottle of Jack?
I saw him last night, and he was literally about to die. He was sweating.
He always
profusely.
looks like that.
It could be a combination of both.
Ben, you got to put on 100 more pounds of weight to keep up with everybody.
Or just quit taking drugs too. That might.
Or
help.
just pace yourself a little better.
Come
or
on.
take your drugs sparingly.
Yeah.
Spread it out.
But that is it today. With the following week, I will be back in Florida. Me and Jason will have a live broadcast together. What you think? Shoot for Sunday night or the wrap up on Monday? Wrap up on Monday. Whenever we got time next.
Whenever.
Whenever we have time before it gets too far.
I got a kid coming.
Yep. Oh, handicap. Extra handicap.
Tomorrow's the day. We'll find out, boy or girl.
Courtney and Jason are having a baby, and
First
tomorrow's the
Rugrat.
day. So if you guys want to throw some money on that, I got my money on a boy. I think it's plus 110 for a boy is a low rider.
No, boy is in the favor right now.
Boy's the favorite.
Boy has moved to minus 125, and girl is at plus 115.
115. So if you guys want some action on the baby, just let us know. And
here's your bookie.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will be back at you next following week with everything else. All right. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
See you.